Welcome to the Allured Life podcast. My name is Katie Christ, and in 2016, I wrote down in a journal that I was going to become unapologetically my best self. And my purpose is to help women do the same, whether that's overcoming body image issues, creating next level inner confidence, or up-leveling our emotional intelligence and sense of worth. I believe that by investing in and developing who we are, we can exponentially transform the world we live in. My mission is to create power and influence in the hands of women. These are conversations for those ready to rise. This is the Allured Life podcast. Let's go all in. Hello, and welcome to the Allured Life podcast. So I legitimately right now just got off the Peloton. I still have the Peloton shoes on. I'm still sweaty. I don't have any makeup on. I'm probably going to be sniffling because, again, I just got off the Peloton I had 10 minutes left of a 45-minute bike boot camp. And I was like, I have to go record now. Like, it was a gut feeling of just like, go now, Katie. I threw on a hat, and even part of like me throwing on a hat, and actually I threw on a shirt too, because I record these and I have both a Zoom, and so you can like see my face if you want to watch it on YouTube or watch it on the blog. Even then I was like, I wonder. Yeah, I think my shirt's inside out. Even then, putting on a hat and putting on a shirt, I was like, I'm disrupting the flow of this thought. Right. So, story. Where do I even begin? You know what? I currently right now, I'm in the process of creating the next version of, I launched a program in August called Seasons of Strength, and I'm up-leveling that. And it's called Invested, the Resolution Rebellion. And the whole kind of point of that program and within Seasons of Strength, Seasons of Strength was all about, even my words, like right now, it's like I can feel the energy of this message that I need to share. So I gotta kind of reel it in, Katie, reel it in. Don't stumble over your words, honor your audience, honor yourself in how to kind of unravel this concept. But I'm in the process of relaunching a program, Seasons of Strength, and rebranding it too. It's called Invested. And it's all about just being a woman, a person, a human being who we are a 100% guarantee we follow through on our word and we get what we want. And the funny thing about me launching this program is, and this is a thing that I know keeps popping up. It's like when I declare something, the universe says, okay, how bad do you want it? And can you hold it? And for me, it's again, I'm creating this program and I know all the information of like being the type of person who's like, yep, I honor my word. I follow through. I am a go-getter. I honor kind of the masculine energy in me follows through. She gets it done. And then today I was supposed to record a podcast this morning. And I put on, so it's Friday as I'm recording this. I wanted to record the podcast on freaking Wednesday and I didn't follow through. And I said, okay, I'll just move it over to tomorrow. I asked myself, I had a little sticky note, which is kind of a tactic that I teach on in Seasons of Strength and will teach again in Invested, of just, okay, you have everything that you need to do. It's on a sticky note. And when you don't follow through, it's just, okay, what's going on? What's happening here? And then you just move the sticky note and it's okay. And so I moved it to Thursday. Actually, in my mind, I was like, okay, let's move it to Thursday. Let's move it over. I didn't even look actually at my calendar that's supposed to help me utilize this. And so I was like, what is going on? I was getting so dang frustrated with myself. So, and even today, I was like, okay, I'm going to take Cabby on a walk and then I'm going to come back. And instead of working out right away, I'm going to just like shower and then I'm going to meditate. And after that meditation, I'm going to have such clarity on exactly what this podcast is going to be about. And then it's going to be the most amazing. And then you're going to work out later and everything's going to be great. And then I got home from taking Cabby to the walk. I did that because it was for another person. Cabby's a person.
It was for somebody else. I could follow through when it's for something else, somebody else. When it's just on me, it's like, hey, you know better. We've talked about context, and we've talked about for me, for you, for us. You know your why. Like, what is going on? I got home, and then I was like, oh, this new training's out. Let me just watch this training. I'll shower, and then I'll watch this training, and then I'll have breakfast. Well, and I watch this training, and then I'll mull over. I was like, okay, well, how can I apply this training to what I want to be talking about? And I'm like, I don't know if that works. I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, but I was like, I don't know yet. And it's funny, again, how I am in the process of creating this program called Invested, where it's you are 100% guarantee we get what we want when we put in our time and energy and thoughts into things. I was this whole week putting in my thoughts and I like energy and mind into, okay, what's this podcast going to be? And two, it was also in this launch of this new program. And there was something stopping me from following through. Something. I was like, oh, just figure it out, Katie. And that's honestly what I wanted to talk about this podcast. I was going to be like, okay, let's talk about self-leadership. Let's talk about us leading ourselves in the strongest way possible. And one of those things is figuring out and just not making a huge, big deal of, okay, what's stopping us, and just like, we know the things that are stopping us, but we feel comfortable a lot of the times in that being our problem. So we'll kind of stay within we'll stay in this problem. We'll keep saying like, oh, I can't follow through because I'm not inspired. I can't record this podcast because I have the makeup on. That's my problem. I didn't have my makeup on. I don't look ready for the camera. Can't do it. Okay. I get my makeup done and I'm ready and I'm like, oh, I can't record the podcast because I'm not really clear and like focused on exactly what I want to be saying. It can be better. I can do better. I re-listen to podcasts and I'm like, oh, I could have said that so much better. Okay, then Katie, let's like focus in on and actually write down exactly what you want to do. I do that and nothing comes. I'm like, oh, the problem is I still don't have clarity. There will always be another problem. I know that. And it's just like, just go. Momentum builds motivation. When you just go and keep going, like that's how we lead ourselves. And so what came through on the Peloton? I said to myself, I was like, okay, I'm not like, why can't you follow through, Katie, on the things that you say that you want to be doing? And I know that when we don't follow through, when we feel like we're running out of time, which is exactly what I felt like this whole week. I felt like I wasn't following through. I felt like I was like, what's going on, Katie? Okay. And then the time factor of this week is going by and in my to-do list, I did not follow through on the three things that I said I wanted to accomplish. I said on Friday, these are my Friday finishers. That's a term I've grabbed from Brendan Burchard. 3 things. You're running out of time, Katie. You're running out of time. You're not doing enough. Why can't you do better? Da-da-da. So at noon, so when I started my workout, I was frustrated like no other. And I'm a manifesting generator in human design, and my not theme self is frustration. So when I'm feeling frustrated, that means I'm out of alignment with my best version of myself. And so I was like, okay, let's just go on a workout, Katie. Trust yourself. Okay, trust this feeling of frustration. Trust that you're not like when you're feeling this way, you're not walking in alignment with your best version of yourself. Therefore, anything that you're trying to do right now either will 1, suck, or 2, just take so much longer. And I know this is just such ingrained belief system of just keep going at it. So I got on my Peloton and I was like, okay, let's just move through this emotion. Let's hold this frustration and associate it outward into like physically moving it out of my body. I've talked about kind of this process of holding negative emotions when we know we're out of alignment. So holding negative emotions, you can either physically just hold it, and work through it, or work through it. Use a different activity to like physically move through this emotion. That's what I did with physical activity. And then even on the bike, I was like, Katie, you're not doing enough. What are you doing? Like, why your brain keeps going back to like why you haven't, like you're running out of time. My brain kept going back to how I wasn't enough. I was in lack focus through this workout. And there was, so bless her heart, Jess Sims. If anybody's a Peloton person, Jess Sims was rocking me today. And we were doing a Tabata at one point. It was the second part of the boot camp. So bike boot camp is you go from being on the bike, doing a bike kind of high intensity, and then you go for 10 minutes or so on and do strength training workout. And then you go back on the bike and then you go to strength training. So I was on the second part of the bike part and we were doing a Tabata, which is is like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. We did 20 seconds on, 40 seconds off. Actually, no, this one was true 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And I was barely hitting what I was trying to get at. And I was like, oh, even this, Katie, you're sucking at, and you can't do what you want to be doing. And then we get to part of it. We were in the third. We were doing it in stages. We did 1, 2, and 3. And I was in the third one. I was like, oh, this is so hard. Why can't, like, Katie, you suck. Literally going through my head. Why am I so lethargic? Why am I like all these negative thoughts? And then in my mind, I was like, Katie, because I heard another Peloton instructor say this before. It actually might have been Jess Sims. And I was like, Katie, just close your eyes and see how you're going to do this. Because what we had to do is again, if you were on the bike, we were going for speed work. And so you had to hit a certain RPM. So that's rotation per minute. We were aiming for the first section. It was aimed for like 100 to 105 RPM at like a 40 to 55 resistance. And then the second one, we had to go to 100 to 110. And then the third one, we had to go to 100 to 120. Barely was hitting 100 the first 2 times. Barely. I was looking at it, and I sometimes I do this thing where I'm just looking at the rotations per minute, and I'm like, just move a little one over, please. Just go a little bit faster. Like, come on. And I kind of get there, and then I go back. I go like 105 and then go back to 100 or 99. And then I'm like, come on. This third one, I was like, okay, Katie, close your eyes. The next interval, close your eyes and go. And see where you go. Trust, Katie. Trust. And so I went, and Jess was like, go. And I was like, okay, go. I hit 120 easily. I get it. And I was like, okay, just go. You're not even gonna look. You're not gonna even look. And then like, obviously I was like, peek. I literally just opened like one little eye. And I was like, oh. What? 120. It was a struggle to hit 100 the first 2 times. And then I shut my eyes and I said, just trust your body, Katie. Just trust what you're capable of doing. And I hit 120. I actually did too. I increased the resistance. I was going at 40. At first I was like, I can do 50. Barely. I was like at 88 when I was trying to hit the 100 RPM. So I went down to, I was like, okay, go to 40. Let's just be consistent. Just go to 40, Katie. No ego, amigo. That's what Jess Sims says. No ego. Like, we don't have to be at the top of the resistance. No ego, amigo. Go to 40. And I was barely hitting the 100 still. And I knew, I was like, Katie, like, you can do better. Right? There's that voice in my head that I've been hearing all week right now. You can do better. You can do better. There's a standard of like, I know something's up. Something's off. You can do better, Katie. So I was like, okay, trust that voice. Go. I went to 44. Little magic number, 44. I shut my eyes and I hit 120. And I shut my eyes again. And I peeked again. I was like, I'm still at 120. And then I got off. We were recovering for 30 seconds. I did it again. 120. Easy. Shut my eyes. And then I jumped off the bike because it landed for me. I was like, okay, here's the message. Okay. Trust. Trust. Faith in ourselves and what we can do. And a lot of the times, sometimes we have our eyes open and we are looking at what's getting in the way. We're looking at our problems and we're like, I know exactly what the problem is. The problem is I'm looking at the resistance. I'm like, keep going. I know the problem is I'm not hitting the resistance that I want to go, but like, keep going. Let me look at the rotations per minute and just will it to go a little bit over. I was looking at it. And I look at my resistance. I'm like, okay, like, come on, Kitty. Barely hitting 100. I'd get to 110 a little bit, and then I go back, and I was like, I can't sustain this. I close my eyes, I trust my body, and I hit 120. This whole week I was going about the 3 things that I wanted to get done. I actually should pull it up. I think it was launch invested, record a podcast, and then create a freebie for an email funnel. 3 things. Friday finishers. And my problem was, I was like, I don't have clarity. Like, there's something going on with invested. Like, I'm just not following through. Okay. Like, maybe I just don't have clarity with this. I don't have clarity. I need clarity. Let me watch some programs, see if I can find some clarity with that. Let me journal about this. Let me see if I can find some clarity in that. Let me meditate a little bit. Let me find some clarity in that. The podcast, same exact thing. Let me find some clarity. I'm gonna like nail this next podcast. Okay. I'm gonna be so clear on exactly the format that I want to be teaching on. I'm gonna have a great intro. I'm gonna be funny. I'm gonna look good. It'll be great. So, okay, let's find some clarity. And then I thought that I had the clarity of it. Truly, I was like, and I sat down to record, and I was like, I need better makeup on. I don't like to admit that sometimes. Like, I don't record if I don't feel like I look good. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, you like look good. I feel good. I'm going to like, this is my brand, all this stuff. I'm recording with you right now in a hat and no makeup. My look wasn't the problem. But my eyes are open and I'm like, there's a problem. I'm not following through. There has to be a problem. There will always be a problem. There will always be a problem of what's getting in the way of us, of where we're at and where we want to be, the results that we want to get. There will always be something in the way, because if there wasn't anything in the way, then we'd have it. If my makeup wasn't in the way, then I'd be recording and it'd be great. If the clarity wasn't in the way, then I'd have clarity and the podcast would be great. If time wasn't in the way, I'd already have the body of my dream. I don't know. There's always a problem. Oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, my makeup's not good. I don't look the best. I just like really like I could just be so much better. I know I could be so much better. Like if I just focus in on and have more time to create something or just like have better clarity, then this will be the best thing ever. There will always be something in the way. So how do we get through? It's just close your eyes, stop looking at the problem, and trust what you know needs to be done. That's how you get through. I was on that Peloton and I was like, my goal, I was like, I know I can do better at this. We're reaching for it was like 110 to 120 was the aim. I was like, I know I could do it. Let's just shut my eyes and trust my body and see where it goes. I moved through the problem of not being able to go above 100 RPM like that. This is where it's again, I'm creating this program of, it's called Invested. And it's talking about this whole masculine and feminine energy of the masculine energy is the do. The masculine energy is me being on the bike and just like hitting that. Like I went for it. I physically was doing something. And then this balance of a feminine energy, which the feminine energy was my gut instinct of just close your eyes, Katie, and go. I didn't have to do anything to hear that voice. I didn't have to do anything or remind myself to be like, oh, do you remember when a Peloton instructor told you to do this? It just came to me. That's feminine energy. And then that led and propelled me into this masculine energy of physically doing the thing of hitting 120. But I know I'm taking some long pauses, but I also know too that like when we don't follow through on things, when we feel that we don't have enough time to accomplish the things that we want, that means our masculine energy is off. It's like wobbly. We're leading just from masculine energy and it's out of alignment because it's not being stoked by that feminine energy. Right now, I'm recording a podcast. I thought that I was like, Katie, I'm gonna write out everything that you want to be saying in this podcast, and it's gonna be like amazing. I just got off a Peloton workout and I just threw on a hat and I'm just going. I'm not ad-libbing, but I'm just like this is what's coming right now. Because it's stoked right now by this feminine energy of like I felt it in my body, and you can even hear it at the beginning of this recording, like go now, this is the message now, go now, go trust. That's so hard. Trust in ourselves, trust, have faith that we know exactly what we're going to do. Again, there is comfort in knowing exactly what our problem is, right? There's comfort in it. It feels good. If not that it feels good, but it's like I like me and this like not having clarity. It's like, okay, this is comfortable. Like I know this. There's not going to be, because what happens when we solve our problem, or like we open ourselves up to be like, is there going to be a bigger problem? I don't know if I can handle that problem. I can handle this. I think I can, like, yeah, it kind of sucks right now because I'm like, I see exactly what I want in this life. I see this version of myself, this ambition of myself. And I'm like, I really, 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 really want it. And I know there's like if I could just get over this one little thing, but why aren't we getting over it? Because a lot of the times we feel comfortable with that one problem. And I know this is hard to kind of like grasp, but just try to think about it a little bit. Ask yourself, is this true? Of like, if this problem wasn't here, the unknown for a lot, unknowingness, that is scary. Because we're like, I don't know how I'm going to show up with things that I don't know is going to happen. Like if this sucks right now, if I'm like frustrated with myself right now, and I know this problem, and I've been with this problem for so long, and if I get over this one problem and like new levels, new devils, like, but I'm not ready for that new devil. No, this one hurts. Like I don't like this one right now. So if I get over this, like, yeah, I'm gonna be stronger, but like, what is the new devil gonna be? And can I hold this? I don't know if I can. This was so painful to begin with. What? Like, I don't want to, Katie. I remember I had a client a year back or so, and we were having this discussion, and she even said, she's like, Katie, weight's always been the issue for me. Weight's been like the one thing in my life that, like, my life is really dang great, but the weight's always been the one issue. And she's like, I think, Katie, what's like really made me hold on to this weight is if the weight's not the problem anymore, then there has to be another problem in my life. Or is the weight kind of covering up? Like, is there another area of my life that I'm just subconsciously, I don't want to confront, like, this is actually a huge other problem. Like, if I get this weight thing under control, like, holy crap, what if I don't like my job? What if I don't feel purpose in my job? Or what if I keep thinking like if the weight is the reason why my confidence issues is so low, and then I lose the weight and I still don't have confidence. I'm like, oh gosh, now I have to like reprogram some belief systems that I had as a childhood, or like the way that my mother talked to me back in the day, or like some traumatic experience that I had, and like that's just like I don't want to deal with that with my confidence. Like that's the unknown is scary. The known, even when it kind of sucks, of like, if I just got over this one little issue, the known is, we know the issue. We're buddies with the issues. We've been going to sleep with it every single night, waking up, thinking about it, being anxious, being like, if you just got off my shoulder, life would be so good. We want to become the strongest versions of ourselves. And we want to lead ourselves through every situation that comes with us, leading ourselves first. That's feminine leadership. We don't have to sit there and tell ourselves to go, 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 go. Like a football coach. Go, go, sprint faster. As I'm whistling, that's my little coach whistle. Cabby just was like, what are you doing, Mom? Yeah, we do that to ourselves, right? I was doing that to myself this whole week. I was like, here's your list of things to do. Go. Here's your list of things to do. Go. Figure it out. Go faster. Go harder. Do it better. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. No wonder I do this to myself. This is my whole life. I was raised by a football coach who was raised by a football coach. I want to be able to lead myself, walk with myself, know what is in the way, and say, okay, cool. And sometimes it's not about looking at the problem, trying to dissect the problem, try to be like, what is the thought process around this? Why can't I just get over this and let's just get like, sometimes, which is the hardest thing to do, is just about closing your eyes, knowing that the problem is there. Trust yourself to know what the right next step is. Trust yourself to know you can walk through it, that you can hit the 120 RPM. And that actually, it's not even knowing that you can do it. It's just trusting yourself to see how far you can go. When I was on that Peloton bike, I like the part of it was just like, just close your eyes and just keep going. Let's see how it goes. Like, just like you can't even, you're driving yourself crazy looking at the RPMs. Like you're so exhausted. Just go, just trust, go. Let's see. It wasn't even the goal of hitting the 120. I just peeked open and I was like, holy crap, I hit 120. It was okay, Katie, you trust yourself right that. Oh my gosh, this just downloaded. Okay, let's just go record now. Trust now. See what happens now. It's okay now. Go, go, go. Trust. When we lean back, there's a difference between leading from our masculine side, which is a beautiful thing. The masculine, it's the boss. Or not the boss, it's the badass that's just like, I got this. I'm going to do it. But when our masculine is in alignment, we do it. We just do it. It's like, okay, I have this like to-do list. Give me the to-do list. I got this. I'm just going to do this. When you're sitting there going, oh, I really need to do this. But like, this is just getting in the way. And you're like, oh, I'm leaning into my masculine energy, and my masculine, like, it's just supposed to do masculine energy. You do it. Your word is law. You are the type of person that just, it's for today. You do it now. You have one slip up. You have one time that you can drop the ball, and then you learn from it, and then you go. When you have a strong masculine energy, that's it. But we sit there and we go, we're like, I really don't want to do this. But I need to do this. Okay, let's just go take a shower. Let's like get really like nice, and let's put some lipstick on and some like concealer and some under eye stuff. And like once you feel good, then you'll go, and then you go. Okay, cool. I sit there, I'm like, why can't I do this? What's going on? Oh, okay, you just don't have clarity. Okay, let's figure out the clarity and let's go. Okay. Duh, but I'm still not doing this. What's going on? I wasn't trusting. I was ignoring the feminine part of trust and receiving that. I was pushing when I should have been receiving. I was trying to go and lead from my masculine self when I can't do that. That's not how I become my best led version of myself. And the sound, it's so counterintuitive of what I grew up with or what I've known to be true for so long. I thought that if I can just coach myself, just be like, go, 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 go. I'll be like, there was like two different parts of me. There was the coach version of me that was like, okay, let's create the to-do list, let's create the practice, let's create the game plan, and then tell yourself to do it. Just go, go, go. And that's what's going on in my head of like, I hear the coach version of me saying, go, 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 go. And I'm like, I'm trying to go faster. I'm trying to go. Da-da-da-da. I don't want to. That leads to burnout. That leads to me not following through. That just leads to me being wobbly. That leads to me just being like back and forth, back and forth. I'm not like, and it leads to me, and I know this is where I'm out of alignment. I'm frustrated with myself because I'm like, why is the coach in my head not helping me following through like that? Because I want to be the type of woman whose word is law, who I follow through on what I want, that I am a 100% guarantee I will achieve exactly what I want, the context that I've created in this life, the goals that I have within those contexts. She's doing it. Why can't I do it? Like, what's going on with me? Why? Not fair. I don't want to be the no fair person. And I also don't want to be like, well, like she's just doing it because she has support. She has help. But like, look at her life. Like she doesn't have that problem. Like she can kind of like, she could have done a little bit better, but like, that's just me. I don't want to be that judgmental person. I want to see somebody do it, and I want to calibrate to it, and I want to do it. But I can't force it. I can't push. I can't lead from a masculine energy. We have to trust. And if the same problem keeps coming up, or if we just, if we've desired something time after time after time, and we haven't achieved it, maybe the simple thing is to just close your eyes and say, okay, what's the next step? And trust that it's right. Trust that whatever comes to you, if you just shut your eyes, if you just lean back and say, okay, what is the right next step for me? Trust it and go with it, then maybe that's the path of least resistance for you. We complicate things. Our brain complicates things a lot. We go and we look at things, we look at exactly where we want to be, and we see all the hurdles that we have to go through to like get over it. Oh, okay, I want to be like this, but like I have to create this, and then I have to do this, and then I have to go and talk to this person, and then I have to overachieve this, and then I have to clean the house, and then I have to go train cabbie. Like we see all these obstacles in our way. There will always be problems. There will always be something standing in the way of where you are at and what you want. There will always 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, be something in the way. Otherwise, you would have it already. If nothing was in the way of me, like time's in the way of a lot of us. Oh, if I just had enough time. I'm running out of time. Like what are you, what's, if I asked you, what do you want? And I asked you, okay, what's in the way? What's stopping? Why aren't you figuring that out? Because it's like, well, like, I don't really know how to figure it out. We know. Just close your eyes and go. I don't want to make it complicated anymore. I don't. I want to grow and evolve in the way that's best for me. I don't want to look at what other people are doing anymore and say, okay, let's just copy and paste that and let's go. Let's read this book and like that's gonna solve my issue. It can guide it. It can, you're learning, you're developing, you're growing from that, from the things of if anything is like, if you're seeing something, you're like, ooh, I think that could help me. Ooh, I see that person like in that personal development and they're talking about this. Let me grab that. Let me try this. Oh, this person's talking about habit development. Brendon Burchard just had like the 6 habits of growth. Okay, let's like integrate that. Let's try out that. It's not going to be the end all be all if you don't. You almost can get where it's like, okay, I need all these other things coming, these other things coming, these other things coming. And we're like, well, I need more, I need more, I need more. But if we don't move, we don't move. I used to do that all the time. I still do that. I find myself doing that. I did that this week. I don't have clarity. Okay, I need more personal development. I need to watch some more Alpha Femme programming. I love Melanie Ann Layer. Oh, you're not getting the results that you want as quickly as you want. Okay, you must not integrate something as much. So let's just go watch something. Let's go read something more. But move. Close my eyes and go and see how far I can go. Trust what you know you need to do. And do it. Trust. That's leadership. That's leading ourselves. Not having this 2 versions of ourselves, the coach version and then the student, the athlete, the player. Where it's like, go, Katie, go, Katie. Like, come on, go faster. You know better. Ah! I've actually never had a coach that like talked to me like that. I don't know why that's my coaching voice. We lead ourselves. We lead ourselves by walking, by knowing, and by trusting. I was shocked when I was on that Peloton and I shut my eyes and I hit the 120. And then I was shocked again when I was like, that's like it. Okay, I figured out exactly what I want to be talking about. I was like, this is the conversation that I was like, I want to talk about leadership and I want to talk about like knowing what's the one thing that's getting in your way and just moving through that. But I didn't know like what's the process of talking about that. Like I was getting in my own way. And I was just saying, okay, there's no clarity in it. I didn't have to do anything to get this clarity. The clarity came from me being on a Peloton bike because I was feeling frustrated with myself and I trusted in myself to say, go and move through this negative emotion and you'll get back into alignment. And when I was on that bike, it came to me of how am I going to talk about this self-leadership concept? I didn't have to do anything other than trust that it's a noon on a Friday. You haven't gotten only the 3 things that you wanted done. You didn't get any of them done. You should not be like going and working out right now. I had to be like, nope, Katie, trust yourself. This frustration is a sign that you're out of alignment with the best version of you, with the context that you've created. Trust that negative emotions means that you're out of alignment. You do not want to be walking. You cannot push through this with quote unquote productivity things. You can't just get your to-do list done and then get quote unquote off work, then go do what you want to be doing. Follow what feels good right now. Trust it. And in that trust, at least one of my things got done. The podcast came through for me. But at the same time, too, this is the lesson of, okay, what was getting in the way of me launching Invested this week? I wanted to do that this week. It's not about having the perfect process of launching it. Katie, just trust. Lean back. Ask yourself, what's the right next step? Close your eyes away from the problem of what you think the problem is. We know what the problem is. We can look at it, but if we look at it even more, we're gonna be like, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger, 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 bigger. Or like you're like, I see that problem, I see how I can solve it, but I also can see another big new level, new devil, next devil. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like we just look at it. I'm asking you to just say, okay, shut my eyes and let's see what happens. And I really believe that when we do that, we're going to blow ourselves away. The allured life is living into a life that takes our breath away. That's one of my contexts for my life. I talked about that last episode, is creating context. And one of them is, I want to be old and gray. And old and gray, Katie says, wow, our life that took my breath away. The allured life. I love the word allure because it seems sexy and romantic and mysterious and also beautiful. Allure, it feels like even like saying it, allure, like truly it took my breath away out of my lungs to say allure. I think when we trust shut your eyes, go. We're going to be mind blown. Our breath will be taken away of where we go. I believe that. I believe we can physically do that if you're on the Peloton bike or if you're running. Maybe not if you're running. Maybe not if you're running outside and you just close your eyes and you're like, I'm going to run. And then just there's a crack and don't do that. Don't say I told you to do that because I don't want to get sued. But you get what I mean, okay? What are the things that are, what has been something that you're like, I want this, and you've been focusing on this, but there's still a problem? Anytime that I am enrolling a new client, I ask them of a scale of 1 to 10, and usually it's weight loss. It's like out of a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is this is the most important thing that you can possibly be focusing in on this with weight loss or losing weight. How much is this thing? Like, oh, it's like an 8 or a 9. I usually have, people don't usually give me a 10. They're like, I'm just not the type of person to give a 10. But if it's that important of a thing for you to solve it. Let's be the women that just say, okay, if this is so important for me, so important, that I want it so bad. If you say you want something so bad that would change your life, that it would change your confidence, that it would give you the freedom, the life, the love, the like everything would be so much better if you achieved this. What's stopping you? What is getting in the way of you being where you're at and getting what you want? What is the problem? Walk through that problem. Close your eyes, walk. You know what to do. You know it. The problem is we're looking at a problem too much and we're making it way too complicated. It's not that complicated. We know what to do. We know. I know you know. I know you know. Because I know. I know you know. Because things in our, like, they're not complicated, but it's not easy to trust ourselves either. So I want to make sure that you know how hard, like, you are the strongest person in the room if you can lead yourself like this. You're the strongest version of yourself. I look up to you so much if you lead yourself like this. If you say, okay, I know. And just trust. Walk, trust, walk, trust and walk, trust and walk, trust and walk, trust and walk. That's what I want for you. And that's what I want from me. I don't want to be pushing anymore. I don't want to be feeling like I have these amazing dreams, but I'm not getting anywhere. And that's disrupting my self-worth. That's disrupting and getting in the way of my confidence. It's making me feel less of a woman. That's making me feel less than the woman that Ryan deserves. Like all of these things, I've had these thoughts in my head. I've let masculine energy, goals, and actions create a narrative of who I am and shape my worthiness to receive, my worthiness to receive love, just my worth. And I'm done with that. I don't want that anymore. I want to know that I'm worthy of it, of whatever I want. And all I have to do, lean back, trust, and know that the next step will come to me. And then I'll go. So it's that lean back, that feminine energy. Lean back, stop forcing things, stop going. And you're like, well, if I just try a little bit harder, go from like leading from a masculine energy that's just, you're pushing up against a rock. I thought that. I was like, well, haven't you heard the story of the person that's just like picking at diamonds and they're so close and then they give up? I thought that if I like stopped pushing, going, I'd be that loser that had a diamond right in front of her face and I missed out on it. That's not what I'm talking about anymore. It's just, can I become so much more powerful in that, where I use a jackhammer instead of like a little pick? Like, I see them getting those diamonds really, really fast. What are they doing? They're getting their jackhammer, which is our feminine energy, stoking our power, stoking our motivation. Because it's like, okay. I don't know anything about the like figuring out I don't know anything about mining. I do know that people do know how to mine. People know where to hit on the rock. I was actually just watching a TikTok of this person was like hitting a rock, and this rock just like it was massive, just broke right in half. People know where to hit things to make things move, to make boulders split in half. I'd be like, I don't even know where to go. I'm not strong enough. I can't do that. No. Feminine energy is us knowing exactly where to hit. So we break boulders in our lives. We trust. We lean back, we receive. We're like, okay, what's the next step? Trust that you will know. And then say, okay, you told me to hit there, hit it. Then go. Then take our masculine energy. Hit that boulder. Trust, lean back again. What's the next step? Hit that spot. Go. Hit it. Okay. What's the next step? Hit it right there. Go. We break boulders. Instead of just being like, I'm hitting it. You're like, my arm hurts so bad. Oh, I suck. Oh, Katie, you're the weakest link. You're the weakest person. Oh, you suck. Oh, just Ryan doesn't deserve somebody that can't break boulders. We can break boulders. Again, I want a life that takes my breath away. So I'm committed to this. It's the lesson that keeps coming back of just this frustration and knowing when I'm out of alignment and getting back into alignment and what does that look like. And so I hope that through how this has been a hard lesson for me to integrate because I've been so used to really relying on my masculine energy. But again, your masculine energy, it's beautiful. You hitting that rock to break that boulder, you need that masculine energy. You need that action. You need that do. But our masculine energy is off and out of alignment and just like not working the best way when we feel like, number one is time. When we feel like we don't have enough time or we're running out of time. We're not following through and we're like just frustrated with ourselves. That frustration comes with me when I feel like I'm running out of time, that I'm wasting time. When you feel time, that means your masculine energy is out of alignment. When you don't feel time, because you know there's a trust factor of this will come. This will come when it is supposed to come. I know that sounds all woo. Okay, Katie, you go hang out with your crystals over there. It's not that. You will come or you will receive. It will come when it comes. It'll come when it comes. Trust and go. Receive. Trust that you'll know the right next move. Then go. Crush boulders out there. Move mountains out there, guys. Create a life that takes your breath away and lead just from trusting yourself. Close your eyes and go. So guys, if this was helpful, which I hope it was, it was helpful for me. Please share this with a friend, with your sister, with your grandma, anybody that this would be helpful with. Or share it on social media, whatever feels best for you. Just know I love you. And I hope your week takes your breath away.
Hey there. Thank you so much for listening. My goal is to help as many women listening. And if this episode supported you in any way, the very best way to show your appreciation is by simply screenshotting this episode and sharing on your social media or with your friends. Or even better, drop a review on whatever platform you are listening on. Don't forget, if you are looking for any additional support, you can always reach me on Instagram at Katie Christ. See you back here next week.